Oh my. Are we live? Are we live? Hello, my darlings. Hello. Welcome to Sunday night in front of the most beautiful and extravagant hotel in all of Victoria, BC, where they have moved the Oscars because they found out that I was here tonight. So I welcome you. I want to talk a little bit tonight about FOMO. I had the fear of missing out. And so I made sure I got myself some fancy, expensive, imported sardines from Spain. And I made sure I got myself a ticket to the Oscars tonight. Because I hear in the swag bags, they have all manner of things. They have makeup to hide all the wrinkles. They have things for my hair. They have Ozempic so I can be this skinny. And I just knew that that's what I wanted. So here I am. I'm ready for the Oscars. Are you ready for the Oscars tonight? Well, I hope not, because we're not going to watch them. I could care less about the Oscars. I just wanted to have some fun. I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome. We have our fabulous, beautiful moderators here. Bonnie and Melissa are in the chat as usual. Although when they saw me, when they first came on, I kind of thought they were going to bail. And I'm actually too hot already. So I'm taking off the furs. But I still have lots of bling to work with here. So I'm going to take this off too so I can see you all. It is Sunday night. I just thought I'd have a little fun when I first came on, because I thought that it would just kind of be fun to do something different and, have my apple cider vinegar in a wine glass. Oh, look at that. The green screen is making the whole thing look a little weird, but that's okay. It is a general Q&A tonight. You are welcome to ask any questions at all. And what happened? We lost our lights. Oh, it's the paparazzi are here too. Please, no more pictures. No more pictures. Get my good side only. Okay. No more pictures. All right. Let's get serious now. I don't know if I can get serious. I'm just not really sure if I can tonight or not, but I'm going to try. I was going to say, because I know there's probably some new people here tonight. So if this is your first time, I apologize, because usually, we get right into the topic. Who knew that we were going to do this tonight? Not even me. It just sort of came about. And so I've been in this low carb, keto, carnivore space for 15 years almost. I've lost almost 150 pounds, and it's why I'm able to appear in front of these fancy hotels and act up a little bit. Don't be fooled by this rock on my finger. This is not an engagement ring. I am waiting for a handsome butcher to come along and propose to me. So if you know any, send them over here in front of the Empress Hotel. I'll be waiting. I'm straying now from the topic again. We're going to talk about FOMO for a few minutes. I really was having some FOMO for other things, not for being at the Oscars. That's not going to happen. And frankly, it's been years since I've even seen a movie. I have no idea what movies are up tonight, anything like that. Yes, Tina, the cookbook editor, they drove me over the edge for sure. It's been a lot of work. It's I think I felt like I needed to just cut loose a little bit. Because it's all done now. Well, it's not all done now because there's going to be back and forth stuff. But my book is finished as far as the initial manuscript. So that has been finished, and they will have it in their inbox Monday morning. And I feel a great sense of relief, But you know what? I can't stand all the clanking of these rings. I don't wear jewelry. There we go. And this thing's going too. Okay. There. Now I'm not going to bang things around. Okay. FOMO, fear of missing out. I think sometimes I definitely get there, and thinking about things that happen. People are coming over, and there's always, when there's food and stuff, and you start to get into that mindset of, I'm missing out on, cookies, cake, pizza, whatever it is, missing out on normal eating. What is normal eating? And for a while now, I've been able to reframe that. And the real question becomes, what are you missing out on if you continue to eat this way? That is the question. And for me personally, it's going to be different than what your particular JOMO is, the joy of missing out. People worry about missing out on certain foods. Fear of missing out is what FOMO means. What are we missing out on if we continue to eat them? And that's where you reframe it into JOMO, the joy of missing out. So for me personally, the joy of missing out is I get to miss out on type 2 diabetes. I get to miss out on the chronic pain and inflammation that I had. I get to miss out on shopping in the large women's stores. I wear a size 14 on the bottom, 12 on the top. I can shop. I can get those clothes at any store. I don't have to go to the specialty stores where they charge 3 times as much for the same item. I get to miss out on acid reflux. I get to miss out on plantar fasciitis, which is something that is extremely painful that I suffered from, getting out of bed in the morning. It just hurts so much. I get to miss out on asking for seatbelt extenders when I get on the airplane. I get to miss out on not fitting into, seats, or not being able to get in and out of things, and just that whole uncomfortable way that when I was 320 pounds, I had to navigate my body in certain ways where I had to be careful, because I always felt like I was encroaching on other people's spaces. And, I felt uncomfortable in the world. And I get to miss out on that. I get to miss out on the constant hunger. I'm very well nourished. I eat how much I want. And that may have to be tweaked at some point when I'm ready. But right now I'm happy where I am, and I get to miss out on always thinking about food. I don't have that constant conversation in my voice, or in my head. So it's those are the things I get to miss out on. And I would love to see in the comments, what joy are you missing? What do you get to miss out on? What's your JOMO that you get to miss, when you're eating the way that we encourage eating here? And it doesn't have to be carnivore. It doesn't have to be certain macros. It doesn't have to be, clean keto. You may get there eventually. I got to carnivore. It took me a long time, but we all have a different path. You can walk to the same place 100 different ways. And so, the whole thing that we talk about in these live streams and on my channel is, eating whole foods. It's a species appropriate diet. The human species, we're not meant to eat things that come in bags and packages that have 20 unpronounceable ingredients that we've never heard of. That is not species appropriate for human beings. It's fake food. It's something resembling food, but not really food. We eat meats, and some of us eat vegetables and some of us don't. And that's our choice. That is our choice to do that. some of them I would stay away from anyways because they're known to have high oxalates and toxins, but others are a little better. So, there you have it. That's something for every person to decide for themselves. But most of us we freely eat, meat, eggs, all the different meats, seafood, poultry. Some of us can eat dairy. Sometimes I eat dairy, even though I know I shouldn't, because I get rosacea breakouts. I get more joint inflammation if I'm including dairy in my day-to-day eating. So it's a once in a while treat now if I have something with dairy in it. It's a trade-off. Pleasure is so temporary, tasting food and, having the foods that tempt us and that we want to eat. Those things are so temporary. They're so fleeting, but they have long-term consequences. So, we're skipping those things. We're getting better health, energy, mobility. It's not about missing out on those things. It's about choosing what you'd rather have, the bad stuff or those items or the consequences along with the consequences that they bring. So, yes, please put any of your questions in the comments with a QQQ or question mark so that the moderators can spot them and give them to me to look at. I know for myself, I'd rather miss out on some of those foods that I used to think brought me joy. That's my only joy left in life, is to have these foods. But what happens is, I just turned 68 last week. I don't want to be 70, which is 2 years away, and not have any mobility. I don't want to be in that position. So I'd rather miss out on that joy and have the joy of movement and mobility when I'm 70. So let's talk about it. Let's hear what some of your things are, and I'm going to go there right now. And I just need to find the mouse on my desk here. Okay, there it is. And let's see what you have in the chat for me. I see it's filling up already. So thank you guys for your comments and questions. Danny, you are so funny. Thanks, Danny, very much. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay. Miss Jean, the dancing machine. Mean Jean, the dancing machine. You are a funny girl. Sometimes I can be. I try too funny. Question, Terry P, can I have your autograph? Yes, you can have my autograph. Just Venmo $10 to, no, I'm just kidding. You can have my autograph the next time I see you, anytime, anyway. Let me see. Carmen, brilliant. Thank you, Carmen. Tina, greetings from Idaho. Hello, mods and members. Apparently the cookbook editors drove me over the edge, that's for sure. Thank you for being here. Brian, thank you for your generosity. He has gifted a membership. Small steps now. What is your all-time favorite brand of sardines, cost notwithstanding? Oh boy. So as you know, and that was mentioned in the beginning, and I saw the link in the live chat, I've started a new series where I'm once a week going to test a brand of sardines. The one that I had last week was one of the best I've tasted so far. And I don't usually like smoked sardines. I don't usually buy them because I had a bad experience one time with smoked sardines. So that was Jose Gourmet smoked small sardines in extra virgin olive oil. So good. Teddy didn't like them though. He did not like them. But that was more for me. So I like them a lot. That might be my favorite so far. When I do a sardine challenge, I can't afford to eat all the good, fancy cans. I can't. That's just out, out of the question. They're some of them are more expensive than a steak. So I do stick with, your regular, like the ones that I eat most often on the sardine challenge would be the clover leaf bristlings. Bristlings are my favorite. So I usually get either the clover leaf or the King Oscar bristlings if I try to get them in extra virgin olive oil. And normally they have the date that the little fishies were packed, as well as the expiry date. And so a lot of I really appreciate the cans that have both those dates. Not all of them do. They just have the expiry date. So it just gives you an idea of, how fresh are they. Look for BPA-free cans. I think that I think sardines I believe they're a superfood and perfectly safe to eat. And there's lots of evidence to back that up. So we're all going to have different tastes, and what tastes good to me might taste terrible to somebody else. Ask Bonnie about the cod livers. I love them. She hates them. And so, we are all going to be different in that respect. And so my advice has always been to try a variety, like rather than buying a whole case of one that you've never tried before, buy a variety. And then once you find some that you like, then stock up on those, watch for the sales and things. So I hope that helped. Marilyn, hello. Congratulations on your cookbook progress. Thank you. I made the deadline. There was times when I did not think I was going to. It's been a tough few months, as you guys know. There was personal events that happened that really derailed me with time and energy and all that. But it all came. It all came through in the end. So very happy about that. Small steps now regarding the Nuri sardines, regular spiced, extra spiced. I don't think I've ever seen the spice. Let me see. I had a can here a moment ago. This one is sardines in olive oil. So it doesn't say anything about spices. They're not easily available where I live in Canada. And so I have it's a little shop. If you're ever in Victoria, BC, you have to go to a place on Catherine Street called the Market on Catherine. And they have fancy sardines there. And so, but when I go, they have quite a variety of them. And they usually have a couple of different kinds of Nuri. But I know that Nuri, there's a lot of them. But I just have to kind of take what they have. So I have never tried the spiced or the extra spiced. I didn't even know that was a possibility. I've only tried this one before, and a lemon one. And the lemon one was very good. I like the Nuri. They're packed in really good quality olive oil. I believe they're from Portugal. Let me just check that. Are they from Portugal? Product of, and then it's another language, so I don't know. But I will find out because this is coming up next for me to review. There's some foreign language on here. I'll look it up, and I think they're Portugal. I think maybe one of you guys knows where they're from. So thanks for your question, Karen. Hi everyone. Anita, congrats on finishing your book. Look forward to its release. Me too. I don't know when that's going to be yet. They are going to, I guess, take it all in now and suggest their edits. So yeah. Mary, thank you for giving me your JOMO, your joy of missing out. Mary has the joy of missing out on severe tremors, balance problems, dementia, and cravings. Dementia is something I should have mentioned in my list. My mom had it, and I don't want it after watching what happens with someone who has it. And so that is what that's high on my list to miss out on. So there, that's a really good one. Thanks for sharing that. And you guys, please share it, because we need to hear this. I'd totally even forgotten about the dementia one. Aaron, the carnivore-ish guy, I get to miss out on paying more for XX large clothes. I know, right? Like, you get they're the same clothes. There's, there is more fabric. Okay, I get that, but it's not like double the amount of fabric or triple. Like the places where you buy the large clothes, it's ridiculous what they charge, what they can get away with. I'm now going to the pool 3 times a week to take part in pool exercises for my knee and flexibility and all that. And so I was able to buy two bathing suits at Costco for $20 each. When I was buying bathing suits that were like size 2X, 3X size, they were over $100. I couldn't get out of there with, like, the cheapest bathing suit was over $100, and I've got really nice ones now for $20. So it's insane. It's not fair. I don't like it, but I it is what it is, right? Karen, not changing sizes every year or having 3 sizes. Hallelujah to that one. I used to always have 3 or 4 sizes in my closet. Now I go, with the same size forever. And every now and then I've had to, not throw them out, but donate them to go down a size. I'm hoping to do that again. But you know what? Even if I don't, I got some pretty nice, okay. I say I have nice clothes. I have jeans and shirts. I have a lot of jeans and a lot of shirts, but they're the same size, and they've been the same size, for a couple of years. And I like that. That saves a lot of money when you're not always replacing your clothes. And so my clothes, when they get tossed or donated, it's because they're worn out now. It's not because they're too small. And that was always the worst. They were too small. And I have now, several times now made large donations, like several bags, because they were too big. That is what I enjoyed doing. That what I didn't like was when I had to buy new clothes because the ones I had did not fit me. So, yes, I agree with that one. Carmen says, Oscars, phooey, who cares about phony award shows when we have the Queen of Sardines? Yes, thank you. The Queen of Sardines. I feel like a queen when I'm having my sardines. I love it. So yeah, just let them know, if you're talking to any of the Oscar people, let them know who I am. And I'm just going to take another drink of my apple cider vinegar martini. Hang on, and tell them to, send one of those swag bags my way, but they can keep their bloody Ozempic, okay? I'm not interested in their GLP ones that they're probably going to throw 6 months worth into those bags. So, Estelle has the joy of missing out on daily headaches, a chronic asthma cough, always being hungry, hair falling out, feeling uncomfortable in her body, always having gas, and lots of other things. I hear you, and that is like having that lack of gas. That is a thing, you guys. If you have been clean for a while, those of you who are carnivore and maybe doing line diet or something, that there's very little of that happens, like none, basically. So, that's extremely, that is a true thing. And I love it. So wonderful. Congratulations, Estelle. I am so happy for you. And I love that for you. Penny's joy of missing out is all the problems that come from having diabetes. Yeah. There's a lot of problems that come from, I know people who have had amputations. A girl that I worked with, her dad, he was younger than me. He was like 63 when he died. And before that time, he had a leg amputated and was always in and out of the hospital. And it was because of it was all related to his diabetes. And that is really sad. Totally preventable. And it's missing out on that is definitely something important. So congratulations on that. Hello there, Celie Porta. Thank you, Anita and team, for the live. I'm just popping in really quick to say hello, and I hope everyone has a great evening. Thank you for popping in, and thank you for saying hello and for being here. And I hope wherever you're going, you are going to have a good time. Deborah, do you react to the L-Reuteri like you do with dairy? No, I don't. And I had actually, when I was first experimenting with the L-Reuteri, I ate it every day for 3 months, and I did not have the same reactions. And I guess that's because it is not actually like dairy. It's it becomes a fermented dairy product. I don't know. There was a word for it that escapes my brain right at this moment. But Dr. Davis, he said it's different. Like, it's different once it's been fermented and loaded up with those billions and billions of L-Reuteri microbes, it becomes something completely different. And so many people who do react to dairy are able to handle the L-Reuteri. And so it's worth a shot if you're worried to maybe borrow a capsule from somebody or try to get a small amount of the microbes. I think now on Amazon you can get little sachets of the L-Reuteri, so you can just try a small amount. And you can make a lot of batches out of one sachet, because you can freeze, like once you've made your batch, you can save some and freeze a few, I call them pucks, 2 tablespoon little boluses of the L-Reuteri yogurt. Just freeze them. They can take the freezing. It's heat they don't like. And then you can just keep going, like keep making new batches out of that, and then keep saving some, so you can make it last a long time. Trish, hi, nice to see you. How amazing is Anita's shirt today? Yes, it's very, very blingy. I'm kind of dying in it. It's we had a warm day here on the coast, and so there's a little bit of heat trapped in my office here. I wish I was standing outside in front of the Empress. I probably would not be anywhere near as hot as I am now. But yeah. Let me see here. Melissa, if you order her autograph right now, she will throw in one from Teddy for free. Yes, that's a great idea. I will hold his little paw and make a tea. I love it. Okay. Smiling for you. I was food prepping, including carnivore desserts, and my friend said they couldn't spend that much time thinking about food, yet they depend on pills and equipment to eat, sleep, and activities. I totally agree. Even as someone who is on YouTube making things, I spend way less time now on food, like way less time, energy, and money on food than I used to, because I was always about having, I felt like every meal needed to be an event. And it wasn't a conscious thing. It was just, I considered myself a bit of a foodie, and I wanted every meal to be special. And I understand that, that's important to some people, but it was a relief when it was not anymore. It was a relief when I was happy with a steak or a burger patty, well, 2 burger patties probably, but just the meat and the salt. I love love meat and salt. I just have to say, I love meat and salt, and I like different varieties of salt. That's really the only way I get creative these days. I do make some things, for YouTube and for some of my vendors, like some of them will ask me, can you please, make a video next month that showcases our salt or showcases, whatever. And I'm happy to do that. But for myself, I keep it pretty simple, pretty plain. And I'm so happy with that. And I don't expend a lot of time thinking about it. The only decision I have to make is like open the freezer and, figure out, oh, this looks good, or yeah, I'll take that out and have that. I mean, that's it. So and when you think about the money that gets spent on medications over the, people who are on medications for years, and people who are, the medications that are yet to come. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you got medications now and you're sick now, imagine in 10 years. And so there's a cost to that too. And that's coming. So I feel like sometimes people don't factor in future cost either. And it is important to do that. Dee Lee, very funny. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do. Trish, I have heard of several people who have problems with L-Reuteri yogurt not setting up. Do you have a foolproof method for making it? I just haven't had that problem. So I think you got to get the temperature right. A lot of people, so here's the mistake I see people making. One is that they go without the inulin. The inulin, I think, is important to breed the microbes, or not fertilize them is probably a better phrase. So you want to have enough microbes. Your yogurt will set up without it, but then it's just yogurt. So you may as well just buy it from the store. It won't have the billions of microbes of L-Reuteri in it. The temperature is vital because they will die off at over, it's been a while since I've looked at the book, but I think over 106 Fahrenheit, the microbes will die. And so you'll have watery yogurt or fermented dairy. It's not really yogurt. You'll have a watery fermented dairy if that temperature gets high. And I know that some instant pots, people use them and they say, well, I can set the temperature. But Dr. Davis, when he was on my channel, he said that the problem with the instant pot is it cycles high and low to maintain that average temperature. And so when it's on the high cycle, it can kill those microbes. So that could be a problem. And I think the third thing is, what was the third thing? Contaminants in the air. Like you have to make sure that everything is sterilized and that you work quickly, get it done, get it out of the way, covered so that nothing can get in it. I honestly, I myself have not had a batch that hasn't worked. And yet I have people who do message me and say, I've never been able to get it to work. And I, without being in your kitchen, I like, if I could only transport myself into some people's kitchens and do it with them, I'm sure I could go, aha, there it is. But I can't. So yeah, but those are the things that I know are a common issue. Vessel of Mercy. Anita, do you sense that your personality has changed? I feel much freer to speak with people about anything, not just food. I would say yes, because I've always considered myself, and I still do to some extent, I am kind of an introvert. I prefer to stay home than to be out in the public. And I spent a lot of time isolating away. I don't have a problem talking to people now about pretty much any subject. If you had told me 3 or 4 years ago, even, that I would be sitting here, in front of, a live audience, all tens of you or hundreds of you or whatever you are. I can't really tell. I would not have believed it. I would not have been comfortable with doing it. I would not have done it. I would have been too self-conscious to do it. So yeah, I would say that I've definitely changed and also become freer. I do feel freer to talk to people about things, and I don't mind talking, to people that I've just met. I don't shy away from that. So, yeah, I would say yes, for sure, in a good way. Okay, there's a whole bunch more questions here. Oh yeah, we still have time. We've got lots of time still. Cat Diamond, do the bristlings have their heads and tails? Well, I've never bought any type of sardines that had the head still in the can. It's never happened. The only time I've ever seen heads is the time I did the fresh sardines. They were fresh frozen sardines. And they came with the heads and the tails, and they came with everything. Luckily, I used to, when I was a teenager, one of my very first jobs, because I lived in a historic fishing town with big canneries on the waterfront. And that was one of my first jobs, was to gut herring. And I did that. I chopped off tails, heads, and gutted them. And that was a very well-paying job for a teenager. Someone had to do it. And yeah, I probably made more money then than I did as an accountant afterwards. But because who wants to do it, really? So the heads, never seen the heads other than fresh herring or fresh sardines. And the tails, it depends on the brand. Some brands do have the tails, some don't. When they are canned, the little bristlings, I just pop the whole thing in. I eat the tail, I eat everything. I don't look inside, at their spines or I prefer the bones in, skin on. The bristlings are so small that I have no sensation of feeling any type of bones in my mouth. Like, it just tastes like sardines. It does not. There's no texture of bones, and I enjoy them very much. And I would recommend that anyone who is a little bit afraid, to just dive in and do that, to make some recipes. Make the sardine balls, make the sardine pizza, make the sardine salad. Like, just make make some sardine recipes, mix them half and half with tuna, anything to sort of start getting used to the taste and texture, and to lessen the fear of them. You have no idea how many people have messaged me or left comments saying, wow, I just tried my first can. I've been staring at it for 2 years in the pantry. I've been afraid, whatever. It was no big deal. I'm going to get more. And it's surprising. It's surprising how many actually say that. So you just never know, right? Always worth a try. Okay. Mean Gene, the Dancing Machine. I love that name. Protein sparing every other day along with lion diet. Wise or not, I'm feeling great. Very high insulin resistance. A1C 6.2, down from 14. Oh my goodness. Lion since January 1st, sparing since March 5th only. It depends. It's not a great idea for some people. You say you are feeling great. Congratulations on getting that A1C down from 14. I mean, my mom, she was 14. She was, I think, 13 or 14 quite regularly. And it was always an alarming thing for me to know. But, it's one of the things that contributed to her dementia and her Alzheimer's. So there's a high risk when you have A1C that high you are at risk for those sorts of things. And so I am so happy for you that you have gotten that down to 6.2. And I have no doubt if you keep going, it's not going to be long before you're down in the fives, which is where you want to be. So congratulations for that. If it's working for you, like I've done protein sparing before, and yes, I was successful. But every time I retried it after that, I just couldn't do it. It was very hard for me to be for those low fat days. But that's just me. It's just how I react. I can really tell the difference between getting the fat that my body is craving and needing versus not. I get really cranky, and I would be, if you were here at the beginning and you saw my good diva act, I would be the bad diva for sure. I would be, off with everyone's heads. So if it's working for you, keep doing what you're doing. And report back. I would love to hear that you're down in the fives. So congratulations. Rebecca Ash Homespun. I probably said that wrong. Sometimes the long names are Rebecca's Homespun. Yeah, that's what it is. Sometimes the names are hard to parse out. Love your channel. It has helped me so much. I started a few weeks ago. One time I gave in and ate a dessert. Even while I was eating it, I was like, this isn't worth it, and didn't finish. Yeah, good for you. We've all been there, done that, and nobody is perfect, and the failure is in what you do next, what you do after. And you did the right thing. You didn't even finish it. I probably would have finished it. Like I have trouble. Like if I'm climbing up the mountain, I got to go all the way. Luckily that doesn't happen. Or at least not the way it did. It's very rare. So you not only didn't finish it, but you got right back on. And that's the success that you just said, oh, this is not worth it. I'm getting back on. And so, congratulations for that, and keep going. I'm proud of you for doing that. Okay. Luija. Hi, Luija. My son is 21 years old, and he heard you say you are 60 something. And he said, wow, she looks good. Oh, that is so, tell him I love him. Is he a butcher? No, that was just kidding. That was a really bad joke. So yes, thank you. Make sure you thank him, Luija. That was so nice of him to say that. The Kingdom. Hi, Kathy. I get the joy of missing out on diabetes, blindness, amputations, kidney failure, heart disease, strokes, and other diabetes-related health issues like many in my family. Isn't it heartbreaking when you watch your family? That is the hardest thing, is watching friends and family who have watched you. And I know people have watched me, and I'm sure that in your family and friend circle, they have watched you change your the way you eat and get healthier and weight. I know you've had some weight loss, and I have, and yet it doesn't, there's no, that isn't a conversation they're ready for yet. And I'm always just hoping that, like Melissa says, I can only be the lighthouse. I can't be the foghorn, because if I'm the foghorn, they turn right off. Like they will stop listening, close their ears, la 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 la, I don't want to hear it. You just have to keep showing what you're doing, and just be the light. And one day somebody will come, and ask you about it. And how did you do it? What did you do? And I'm always ready for that. And I know you're always ready for that. And thank you for your list. Your list is perfect. Smiling for you. My mother and grandmother both had Alzheimer's. I'm already in my 60s and have been pre-diabetic 4 years, but I appreciate testimonies for those of us who started later in life. Yeah, there's a lot of people who follow this channel that are later in life starters. And, I do out in Facebook and places on social media, I see people make comments like, well, I'm already at menopause. It's too late. I don't think like they have doubts about that. And I started keto before menopause. Like I was in my early 50s. I certainly was probably premenopausal, but in my early 50s is when I started this journey. And went through menopause as someone who is keto, and it starting is never too late to start. There's people that message me and they're in their 70s and 80s and they're starting and they're having results, right? They've started this late. So, I mean, it's never too early, of course. If you're sitting there and you're in your 30s or 40s, please start now, get that head start. But even if you're in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, it is absolutely not too late. I mean, just jump in there and do it. And it's not even complicated. It's just it's more about what we don't eat than what we do eat practically. If you avoid, I think I'm probably repeating myself from earlier, but it always bears repetition, and people come and go in these live streams sometimes. We don't eat things that have 20 ingredients. We eat single ingredient foods. And some of us are eating vegetables or whatever, and some of us are not, and that's okay. It's just like just find a place that is sustainable for you and I don't mean you, because I know you're already doing it, but I mean anyone out there who's listening to this. Find a place that makes it sustainable for you, and have whole ingredient foods. Buy lots of meat, all the different meats that you like and that you can afford. If you can grow your own, if you want vegetables and you can grow your own, that's even better, because you can avoid the pesticides and make it organic. And start with that, and just eliminate all those processed foods, ultra processed foods, seed oils, alcohol. I haven't had a drink in I don't know how long. When I found out there was a relationship between alcohol and dementia, I was out. I'm out. There's no way. And that was quite a few years ago. Just all those things, just avoid them. And it's life changing. It'll keep your insulin lower. It'll keep your hunger cues will be more. You won't be thinking about food all the time. Everything will be stable. It's just a healthy way to live. Get out in the sunshine. I know it's winter still. It's spring, but it's still winter in some areas. I know some of you are having storms. We have an atmospheric river coming this week, apparently. Lots of rain. But I still, you can still go outside on maybe your back porch, or look out a window, like open the window, look out the window, let the light, even if it's cloudy, let the light come on your face and any parts of the body that you can. That is so healthy for you. Do that first thing in the morning. That anchors your circadian rhythm. Manage your stress. Get some movement in, even if it's going up and down the stairs in your house, going to a mall and going around in circles. I'm going to the pool now. I'm so glad that I finally did that, because it's made a huge difference. Already. Just anything you can do. So, movement, stress management, a good sleep, work on that sleep, and healthy food, healthy single ingredient food. It is that simple to change your life. Thanks for your comment. New to the live chat, Lunch Lady 1967. Welcome. I love your videos and own both the Egg Fast book and the Sardine Fast book. I'm watching from Harrington, Kansas. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, don't worry about the silliness that was at the beginning. That's I don't usually do that, but I'm glad that you made it to the live and that you're here. And thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for supporting what I do by, purchasing those books from Amazon. And it's just so exciting for me to be able to share this with as many people as possible. So thank you, Lunch Lady. Southern Girl, I'm happy to miss out. The joy of missing out on skin issues. Yes. And getting my autoimmune to settle out of constant flares. Yes. I'm also not anemic anymore. Neither am I. I used to be anemic for years. I was turned away by the Red Cross they didn't. I think at one point the nurse said, "You shouldn't come back." I just was not able to give blood. And my doctor was even really concerned. I think it was especially bad after I went through a raw vegan stage. I tried everything, even that. I tried raw vegan, and I was very anemic. I was very anemic. So good for you. I'd forgotten about anemia. So excellent. See, this is why you got to share. You got to share what you have the JOMO over, because some things that I've been rid of for so long that I forgot I was ever sick with them. So thank you. Trish has joy of missing out from anxiety over whether or not I'd fit in a chair or a plane seat. I know that was such a hard one for me. I dreaded it. I dreaded the whole thing. I dreaded, who was I going to sit beside? Were they going to be annoyed because I would be encroaching on them? I was going to have the embarrassment of asking for the extender. And oh boy, it's so nice not to have that. So thank you for sharing that. Carmen, the joy of missing out on being out of breath from walking up a few steps. Yes. Having gas, sinus headaches, being bothered by allergies as I used to be. Yes, all those things. I mean, so many things come with, high insulin, excess weight, and there's so many things that come with our prior lifestyles. And so thank you for sharing that. Deely, I've been waiting for today to tell you, thank you so much for suggesting the 1 tablespoon per 1 egg. So the 1 tablespoon butter per 1 egg is probably, because that's usually, like, you're talking egg fast ratios. I love it. So good. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. And I've been thinking about, maybe next month I might do, maybe a short egg fast, 3 days or something like that. This month, before I forget, because where are we? Oh, we have less than 10 minutes. Before I forget, next week I'm starting 7-day sardine challenge for myself. Well, I should say seafood challenge, because I am including some salmon. Like, I'm doing tinned fish. Let's put it that way. So it'll be all of the smash, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, salmon, and herring. So those 5 fishies, I'm gonna incorporate them into my food for 7 days. I was able to do 5 days at the end of last month, and I want to do 7 days at the end of this month, and see where I'm at the end of the month. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because that, for some reason, your comment reminded me that I was supposed to say that. So great. I'm glad that you're enjoying the eggs. Penny, you have helped. Anita, you have helped me immensely. I'm so glad that your hubby found me. Oh, that's so nice. I love that. I have been eating 2 cans of sardines a day. I've also done a couple of sardine fasts and an Omega Monday. That is wonderful. I'm glad that you are regularly incorporating them into your food. And I'm certain that I don't even have to ask you that you're probably feeling some benefit from that, like whether it's your joints, fogginess, whatever. Congratulations. Jacqueline, how do you work with your doctor when they say your LDL and cholesterol are slightly high on a keto diet, but low triglycerides and HbA1c? Well, I mean, I'm in that situation. My cholesterol is slightly high. I have low triglycerides, and I have good A1C, and a whole bunch of other markers that are excellent, and including different my inflammation level is 0.5, which is pretty good. So I don't argue with the doctor. I mean, they are supposed to. I think they almost have to automatically suggest statins, and just say you'll think about it and get back to them, and acknowledge and ignore is probably the best strategy. Just acknowledge them and ignore them, and carry on with your life, because if that's your situation, I think you're probably doing great. And just what I might do, is say, look, if you want, if they're really pushy about it, say, well, look, how about, just to be sure, how about if we do a CAC test, the calcium artery score? I don't know, CAC, I think it's called, and then I'll let you know after we get the results back, and if that baby is 0, you're probably in the clear. So and I don't think they would push any statins on you after that. So suggest that to them. Aaron, the carnivore-ish guy, how long into a sardine fast do you start seeing results? I find it is usually around the 60-hour mark when I start seeing my CGM start to really drop. Yeah, I think it's probably not, usually for me, it's definitely not the first day. It's usually the second day. And then one thing that I found by doing it last month for the 5 days is that day 4 and day 5 were even better than day 3 for sure. So the longer you go, the better if you can. The other thing is that if you can go 4 days, it seems like the results last longer as well. If you're still measuring after it's over, I think you'll see that they stick with you. Where are we? Oh, we are. Let me just look at the, I just want to see what else we have here for questions, see if there's anything urgent. So let's see. The most beautiful thing in the carnivore diet for me was seeing the body healing itself. It's a self-healing machine. We need to give it the right conditions. 100%. That is really profound. I love that. Debbie, thank you for buying my sardine challenge handbook. I appreciate it. Do you put electrolytes in your water? Sometimes I have people companies send them to me. I have lots of them around. And so I use them sometimes, but this was a fake thing for my fake martini at the beginning of the show, if you didn't see it, but this is just water with apple cider vinegar. And I'm using, I prefer electrolyte salt that I put on my food. I find that's an easier way for me to get my electrolytes in. And I take some magnesium at bedtime, magnesium glycinate. And that helps me too. So, let me see here. I'm just, okay. So thank you for all the encouraging comments. We are just a couple minutes out, and I really appreciate you guys, putting these comments in. What are the other 5 of 10 fishes? I don't know. There's SMASH is 5, SMASH. Yeah, that's five fishes that are fatty fishes. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by the other 10 fishes. Maybe I misspoke something. So you can message, where to get a hold of me. You can message me, Trish, and ask me about, tinned. Yes, tinned. I said tinned fish. So I'll be eating tinned fish during those 7 days. Thank you guys for being here. For those of you that are going to go watch the Oscars now, no judgment at all. I'm going to show up and put my fur coat back on and try to avoid all the paparazzi while I break into this fabulous hotel behind me. And we will, look for me on the cameras if you do watch it tonight. Bye, everybody. Love you. See you next week. Cheers.